guys, I've got our first racer spotlight of the night. Mushers have come from around the country for this, and we'll have 9-time champ Ryan Anderson later in the show. But as we asked organizers and other mushers who else we should talk to, we kept getting the same answer. Take a look.
Lynne Witte is something else.
She's crazy is why. She's crazy.
Why are people saying that about you?
Because I retired from teaching like 40 years, and then I said, well, I want to run sled dogs. There is a story. In 2000, I went to Alaska to the Iditarod as a teacher rep. I had never seen a dog race until that January. We went all the way up from Anchorage to Nome. I spent a month. And from that time on, did I do crazy things? Yeah, I drove every weekend to go up north to train because that's how I was going to learn. I knew in Metro Detroit it wasn't going to happen. I drove every weekend for 20 years up here just because I wanted to come to on sled dogs. My principal knew me very well, and I would always make it. One time I had to call and say, it's so bad, and he says, don't worry, we're canceling school. I met enough people that were from Michigan, and they became kind of my best friends and mentored me. And that's the way to get into it, is to run somebody's dogs that maybe aren't, like we call it in the race world, the fastest. Then I bought my own because that was way more fun. Dogs are like people, they have different personalities. And I've had some, I got a couple that are pretty crazy. But they'll run through a brick wall for me. I trust them. When she ran in 2:15 as a young dog in that nasty storm, you know, the next time I ran the Yukon Quest with her, and it was 50 below, and it was awful. I mean, she was amazing. And I think it was because as a puppy, or as a young dog, she learned, like, it'll be okay. And again, it's like a person, do you trust them? Well, sometimes people say, no, I'm not gonna trust you. But I think they learn that. Yeah, people say, are you competitive? I always say, no, I'm not. But when I got into dogs, then I knew I did want to race them too. You know, I coached when I was a teacher, I coached track and cross country, and for me, training them was great, but the benchmark to evaluate was, what are they like when they get with other runners? Sometimes I thought, how do I get faster? You know, how do you speed it up? You can't put a gas pedal on them, right? People say, well, you're light and they can pull you. But yeah, but I had to get them to learn that they had to pull up a hill. Because before that, I was running up the hill and trying to do everything to make them faster. But I wasn't really making them faster. They were looking at me like, you're slowing us down back here. When I taught, did the kids know about it? Of course they knew about it. I used it in the classroom. It was part of my curriculum all year long. And I always gave sled dog rides at school and things like that, just for the kids, everybody. So you think as a second grader, are they gonna remember? They do. So do they still follow me? Yes. Some of them will be at the UP 200, for example. So that's kind of fun to see. The kids go to Northern now, and so they'll be there. They're gonna help volunteer, a couple of them. But they'll say, oh yeah, we remember when. And in a way, that's a really good thing to know, like, at least it's planted a seed in them. To do, you know, and maybe they're not gonna do it till they're 30, 40, or 50, whatever. They can still do it.